Well, good morning and welcome to Working Horses with Jim. I'm Brenda and I'm here today with Lady. Today is May 17th and Lady still does not have a colt. Jim brought her in last night because we have been having a cool...
Actually, Brenda brought her in last night. She didn't want me to catch her.
Yeah, she was being kind of snotty. But anyways, oh brother. Oh, we got the chickens in here this morning. So we brought her in last night and the colts because it was so chilly. Thought it might be better. Put her in the box stall for the night, and we're going to do it again tonight because it is forecasted to be cold again. I'm very sad to see that we had a little bit of ice on the car, and everything's in bloom out there. Strawberries and our apple trees, so I don't know. We'll see how things turn out. But this morning, Jim is going to be clipping her mane.
Let's get a quick look at her bag and see if she's getting much more of a bag. And we took Baron outside so I could use his stall with Lady here.
And hopefully this is showing, and really, she's got a long ways to go. I hope that showed.
It seems like she has a long ways to go, but this is approximately her due date, somewhere in this stretch of time. And she's obviously going to have a foal. And a Baron mare tends to just kind of bag up all of a sudden and boom.
A Baron mare? You mean a maiden mare?
I mean a maiden mare. I hope it's not Baron.
Well, she is a Baron mare. Like Baron is her man. But, oh, anyways. She seems to attract flies. Honestly, she's like a mother of all. She's got little baby flies on her. I'm going to come in here and show you the colts. They also came in last night. Hi, guys. But they're going back out to the pasture this morning. And they're going to stay out there without Lady. They've all been getting along quite nicely together, really. But they're going to have to go it alone now because we're going to be putting Lady out with Bill today, which is going to make Bill very happy. These guys are ready to get out of here, but they will be soon. One thing to note was that, Earl, we had to take the kittens out of the Earl's manger last night before we brought them in. They've been out to pasture for a few days, and the cats keep bringing the kittens into Earl's manger. Well, we went out, we moved them out of there, and then by the time we got back in with Earl, there was a cat and 4 kittens in there again, so we had to move them again. She got a little scared when Earl put his head down to eat in there, so we did move them out again. They didn't come back last night. While I was in there talking, and Jim already got one side done here of Lady. I gave Lady a brushing.
She's all done.
Oh, she's all done. I gave Lady a brushing this morning because I felt that she deserved some TLC. She did seem to like it. As grumpy as she can be, she does like to be brushed.
Okay, time for her new little bit of grass in her new spot.
We're making the use of what we've got for green grass, and I've already discussed it, but and I think in a previous video, I think we talked about it. So here comes Billy, so happy to be with Lady today, and probably excited he isn't going to have to work today. Come on. And he's excited to be over here. Come on, Lade. Come on. She doesn't dare to cross the fence. Come here. Come here. Come here. As I mentioned on a previous video, I'm so excited about not having to mow this spot. We have some lumber over here for sale that we put beside the road from time to time. Just stuff we want to get rid of at a reduced rate. And we usually do pretty good selling it. She was a little hesitant going through right here, and then I just put my hand on her chin and she came right through.
Bill ran right through?
Yeah, he like darted through. He's the one I worry about.
Yeah, he was in here before.
But he was in here before, so that worked good.
Well, as we continue with our day-to-day, the wind is blowing and it's still very cold today. So I'm not really in a big hurry to head to the woods to get a load of logs, but that is what I hope to do at some point today. But what we decided to do, since it works so well out in the front of the barn to put the horses out into that fence, we decided to do it here also. As you can see, we have a fence across here with a gate hook, so I can unhitch it at any point to get in through there. But we have a fence that goes all the way around our old sugar house, and it will allow the horses to come out here and chew up this grass that is usually very difficult to keep down during the summer months because it takes off a lot of weed eating. On the back side here, there's a lot of grass that the horses can eat, and we have different gates in this fence so that we can still, during the day when the horses are working, just open up the gates and still be able to get back here to get our stuff. So this fence will come right up to what is going to be our cornfield. And then it goes right from there all the way down to the fence where there's power hitched to it. And there's another gate hook down there. But I wanted to talk a little bit about our cornfield. As you can see, it looks a little bit different this morning. Yesterday, we were able to get a couple loads of liquid manure spread on our field. And the farmer that has a big farm close to us sells the liquid manure, so we get a load every once in a while. And we figured for our cornfield, it's going to be a great thing to have on because we are organic, so we're not using commercial fertilizer. So now I will just have to come in here and harrow this up. And it's so cold, I don't want to plant corn yet anyways. So I'm going to harrow it up a couple more times to get the weeds down and keep the weeds down so that when I do plant, hopefully the cultivating can keep the weeds at bay and we can have a decent little crop of corn. We'll go to a video even from yesterday, a short clip of coming in with the big spreader that they use. I showed it one other time on my videos, but it's a humongous spreader with a huge tractor that did this job in just a very short few minutes.
So we are getting some liquid manure spread today. We have a friend with a big farm and they have lots of manure. So we are getting a load spread where Jim was harrowing this morning on the corn ground. There it goes. I'm not getting too close.
So that's what we're up to today, making more portable fence, and it's all done now, that we can put some of the horses out when they go out at nighttime. They'll all go out at night, at different spots, and it allows us more different areas to put the horses, and allows us to keep this grass clipped down and utilized without actually physically going out there and clipping it with a weed eater. So now we're on to the next job. So here we are on our next thing to do. It's right after lunch. The weather hasn't warmed up too much. Brenda is going to take a ride with me. It's so nice that she has time to, or it takes time to ride with me once in a while and do some videoing, and hopefully we can enjoy ourselves, even though it is a little bit chilly today.
Yeah. I have something that you're going to roll your eyes about, but it's really cute. There's two pairs right here. The pairs of the guineas and the pairs of the Belgians. And then poor Baron was over here looking on. He's like, there's my wife over there with another man.
Oh, brother. Well, it's definitely not his wife. And fortunately, with the animal kingdom is so much different than the human kingdom, because in the human kingdom, it's always been God's plan to have man and wife in a marriage, and fortunately that's not the way it is with horses. I actually just got a phone call today, and I never even told you this yet, Brenda. The guy that brought up Meg, the mare, he called this morning and said she did not settle.
Oh no.
Yes, that kind of stinks. So he's going to be bringing her up. I think they've got it figured out when she should be coming to heat, so they're coming up. I think May 3rd, it's a Saturday. June 3rd, it's a Saturday. So hopefully we can get her bred and settled this time. So anyways, those things happen sometimes. But
probably just have to hang around a little longer, maybe.
I don't know. Anyways, let's head to the woods. Nope. Back here. Back here. Out here. Cast up.
They're walking so nicely.
But they are walking nicely, but we have many miles to go, so they can trot up the road for ways. Wonder if we're getting more calves going out there.
I don't know, but I need to check.
We're kind of stuck at 3 and waiting for quite a few more. I must say that Baron horse, he sure does have a nice stride when it hits the road. He loves to run, just like Belle does.
I see some little calves sticking their heads up, but three together right there.
As I'm going up the road right now, I can see that my lines are really should do a little bit of adjusting. This particular cart, my neck yoke and my evener are spread fairly wide, which is good. It allows them to walk a distance apart, especially in the summertime. It keeps them nice and cool because there's more air between them. But as you can see with my lines, their heads are kind of pointed a little bit towards each other. So in other words, the front end of them are sucked together because of the lines, and the evener is fairly wide, partially because I've got the evener set so that Baron has the easy end, so he's actually another 1.5 inches farther out than Ken is. But because of that, I really should adjust my lines another notch ahead so that they are closer to where they should be. But it's not a big deal. You know, I think so often even though doing all this fine tuning
on horses is good. And I think sometimes people just go overboard a little bit with it and think there's something drastically wrong when a horse has his head turned one way or another. Horses are all individuals, so they just tend to do things differently different days. But,
Just like people.
yeah.
And they're just now really realizing that in medicine that everybody's different. So you can't just treat everybody all the same. And I'm sure the same with horses.
Yeah.
Everything with them.
Although when we get up on the dirt road, I am going to pull them in one notch because I do know that will keep them lined up a little bit better.
The grass is looking nice, like it's soon time to get cutting.
I noticed this the other day, but there's manure here.
Oh yeah.
And one of my neighbors, probably had a spreader full of manure, and it was a side slinger, what they call a side slinger. So the manure goes out the side of the spreader instead of the back of the spreader. It's a tractor spreader. But anyways, he must have drove along this field. This is his field. He must have drove along it and didn't want to go out into the field because probably it was too wet or the grass was too high or whatever. And he just decided to throw it out right as he drove up the road. That's kind of funny, actually.
It's going to grow tall along the sides of the road. Hey, you guys. Stop sign.
Whoops. Right at the moment, I'm sure you guys can't feel it through the video, but we are going right into a headwind, and it's quite a chilly wind blowing right at us in our face. But I suppose that's good in a way, because when we go home, it's going to be on our back to help push the wagon.
It's scaring me a little bit because they're like speeding up. We're going downhill, and Baron is almost into a gallop here.
Wow, yeah. Oh. Can you hold these?
Yep.
So all I'm doing is just taking my buckle and sliding it ahead one notch, one hole, which will spread them out a little bit at the front end of them. It's amazing how we pulled off into this enough of the woods right here and got out of that wind. Must be 20 degrees warmer right here. Feels nice. At least the sun is shining.
That might be a little bit of an exaggeration. Just saying.
10 degrees, 20 degrees, what's the difference?
2 degrees. The sun is definitely nice. But now we're in the wood shade, and it is beautiful out here, though. The light through the trees. Gorgeous.
I told Brenda before we left that maybe I should grab the drone, and of course I can't really drone and work at the same time, but I could have, when I'm loading up and the horses are tired, I could have attempted to get up above the trees and see if maybe the horses would be visible. As we get farther and farther into summer, the leaves get larger and larger, and there's so many places in the forest where you're not able to see down through. But I'll try to do a little bit of droning now and then.
I can tell he loves droning. he just seems to really enjoy it. And that's good, you know, you're gonna hone another skill. It's awesome. The cooler temperatures is going to make it so that I doubt the flies are going to be bad at all. So that's one advantage.
So I've got a question for you guys out there, you horse people. Baron's birthday is coming up the 1st of June, and he will be 4 years old. So that means he's done quite a lot of work in the past several months, and he's turning into an incredibly nice working animal. My question to you guys is, when do you guys normally start your young horses? I generally don't start until they're a good 4 years old as far as hard work. And this year, because of losing Buck, I was forced to put Baron into work. And I'm glad I did. Being a stallion, it seems like he just needs a lot more work than a gelding or a mare would. So it's actually turned out quite well. But I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are on it and how you guys go about, at what ages do you go about starting your young horses and to do serious work? I don't mean training, because you can do training at pretty well any age, but to actually go out and work reasonably hard, what age do they have to be? I know that it must be a little bit discouraging when you guys put a comment in and ask a question and we don't very often answer them, even, to tell you the truth. A lot of times we try to take those questions and address them in other videos, but it's just difficult to keep up with the questions that come out in the comment. And I apologize for that, and I understand why you'd not want to put comments down. But we do read the comments, and especially if there's numerous comments of the same question, we will try to address it in a video. And in a video is actually easier to do and gets seen by more people than just me answering a comment to one individual. If we do it with more people, in a video, then more people get to benefit from that question if I have an answer.
That being said, we can try. I think I can try to do a little better with you to answer some of the questions. Once again, because we really do appreciate your interest, your viewership. Look at that cool tree. I never noticed that before. How it's bent like that. That's neat.
This little section of trees off to our right, and we've got more that we'll be going through, is all red oak. And red oak does not grow in our part of the country, well, our immediate part of the country. All this oak was planted by the original owner many years ago, and it would not be here if it hadn't been planted. For some reason, right here we have hardly any native oak. But you go, I don't know, 20, 30 miles from here, along the riverfront, there's a lot of oak.
I wonder what those are with those. Oh, I guess that is just an oak where the old leaves are still on there. Interesting.
Oh. Okay, we'll start skid steer up, get us loaded up, and get out of here.
Well, I was standing here watching Jim load this load of logs and thinking, you guys know what Jim does for work, what we do for work, but I'd really like to know what you guys do for work. And if you're retired, you can tell us what you used to do. But it would be interesting to find out what all of you guys do for work. And if you're not doing a job that you love doing, what would you love to do? So write it in the comments below, because I just think that'd be very interesting to find out. Don't you think it'd be interesting to find out what everybody who is watching the channel does for a job?
Sure. All right, we are ready to roll up this hill.
All right. Look at me. I'm up in the tree stand. Now I gotta get down. Oh, whoops. That might not have worked. I dropped my audio. Anyways, thank you, Seth, for letting us use a tree stand. Made a good place to take photos. He's just raring to go. Okay, so we got Baron and Bill are the B team. We need a name for Ken and Baron.
How about,
Any?
yeah, how about Ken and Baron?
Well, that's boring. Suggestions, anyone? So has it been hard at all for Baron to learn to hold back going down this hill?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard for a horse to hold back a heavy load. And he's still learning, but we're coming up to this little hill very soon, and I'll show you. You can watch how he does.
Is this an average load of about what you have been taking?
What I have been taking, yeah, it's still quite a bit smaller than the loads I would have on my mature teams, but for Baron, it's a good load. So as I approach this hill, what I always try to do is take my lines. And a lot of times I just put them on the floor, the ends of them. But when I'm going down a hill like this, a steep hill, I take my lines and get them all in my hands like this. Now I do that for just in case type of a thing. And unfortunately, it's happened before. So as we're coming down this hill, anything can happen. And what I want to be able to do is to be able to jump off this cart with the lines if an emergency happens. If the lines are down on the floor, I'm more apt to get my feet caught into them or the floor caught into the floor somehow. So anyways, I like to have them all in my hands like this. So when I get to the top of the hill,
Which is right here.
which is right here, I start telling them to hold back. So I just hold it back, hold it back, hold it back, hold it back, and I kind of hold it back. Pull on the lines, both lines, hold it back a little bit, hold it back, 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 hold it back. So as you could see, Ken was really good at holding that load back, and Baron was not so. What happens is his butt gets swung off sides, and it's just hard to hold back, and he hasn't completely mastered it to learn how to hold back yet. Although he's doing quite well.
That was scary for me.
Okay.
Was it scary for you?
No, I've done it so many million times. But just on the reason I am concerned, the reason I take precautions when I'm holding a big load down a hill is I have actually broken neck yokes. And actually that right there was one of the places that happened years ago. One side of the neck yoke broke. Now this is something that, yes, you can inspect your equipment. You can inspect the neck yoke every single day, day after day. But that one day you forget or whatever, things happen. So you have to be prepared for those extremes, all the time. So what had happened that particular day is I was coming down through and just one side of the neck yoke broke. So I don't remember which horses they were. This is years ago.
It was Lady.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, it was before Lady. It was years and years ago. And anyways, the one side broke, so only the one horse is holding the load back. And what happened in the process, the cart got swung over close to the edge of the road, and there was a big boulder there, and a good sized rock, and it actually lifted the tire right up on this side here, if I recall right, and it flipped the cart right over, and I went flying off. And like I said, there's just one side hitch, so one horse had to hold the whole load back, and he did. But in the process, the whippletree in the evening and everything came up onto his heels, and he got hurt a little bit in his leg. I got hurt a little bit because I was thrown off. I held the lines because my lines were still in my hands, and I stopped them, no problem. But it's just when things happen like that, you are just all the more cautious going down the hills from then on, because things happen. So here we are coming down another bit of a hill, and so I'm going to ask them to hold back. Careful, hold it back, hold it back, hold it back. Seesawing the lines just a tiny little bit, hold it back. And over time, they'll understand what needs to be done, and he'll learn to sit on his haunches and hold back that load. And as you also see with my britchin, I have the main britchin that goes underneath his tail. Careful, hold it back, hold it back, hold it back. But careful, hold it back. But as you can see on my britchin, the red part going over his rump right there, that also helps hold back tremendously on the load. A lot of your britchins are just straps going down from the top ring down to the britchin, and it doesn't hold back quite so well as this particular type of britchin will. This does a really good job of holding back because you've got serious pressure on his butt below his tail, and then that strap above his tail helps tremendously. So anyways, we safely made it down the hill, not a problem, and we'll head it home. It's so nice. We live on such a quiet country road that traffic is just not an issue, so we can sometimes walk all the way home and not even see a car.
It is amazing how much wider Ken is than Darren. He's like almost twice as wide.
Yeah. Oh, bye. Yeah. Oh.
You had about an inch to spare there. So it's been about 6 or 7 hours that Lady and Bill have been out in this pasture. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but they've really chewed it down quite a bit. Alongside the road over here, they trampled some down, but they also ate a lot. So they can eat a lot in a small period of time. The plan is that we are not going to leave them in this area after dark for the night because it's close to the road, and we of course don't want them that close to the road during the night, especially with it being a new pasture. And we're not sure what we're going to do for the night, but they're either going to go back in their stalls or Lady can go in her box stall. They certainly do seem to be having a good, enjoyable day out here. Right, Lady? Lady, everybody wants to know when you're going to have that baby. Okay, these boys are getting some similar new pasture. We fenced in another area that is usually just nothing, you know, it's just grass that grows up around stuff. And Jim got some portable fence posts and made a fence. So let's see how it goes. Ken also has issues getting across the fence line. Come on, Kenny. He's excited. See if he follows. You have to lead him. Come on, Kenny. Come on. So what Jim is doing is showing them where the fence line is. Good. Careful, Kenny. You get the idea, Kenny? Okay, just a second. I know you're excited. Let me have your halter. Get the idea, Kenny? Very. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a nice ending when these boys get to chew on some nice green grass and clover after working. And we are glad that you came along with us today. Have a great day.